Welcome to the Belated Tech Channel's 57th edition and second year of the Tesla and SpaceX Redux. We are reviewing the milestones that occurred on each day in the week of October 18th through October 24th in the history of Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, Neuralink, The Boring Company, and Musk's other various businesses. October 18th, 2020. The Starlink 13 mission was lifted to orbit on a Falcon 9 B5 rocket, Booster 1051, from the Kennedy Space Center's Launch Complex 39 on this date. The booster successfully returned to a drone ship. It was the 13th operational launch of Starlink satellites. It was the second time a booster was flown 6 times, and the first time both fairing halves were flown a third time. Both fairing halves landed on their respective ships, but one fairing broke through the net on Mystery. 60 version 1.0 satellites were delivered for the Starlink broadband internet constellation. October 19th, 2019. SRS Games released the Elon Simulator 2019 game on Steam near this date. But 1 month before Elon Simulator 2019, SRS Games released a similar game called Elon on Mars. Like the simulator, Mars is a form of 3-dimensional asteroids, and Mars uses a Tesla Model S as your craft. The setting is different, with the earlier game featuring a scrolling moonscape on the bottom and a star and gas giant backdrop. Like the later game, the player guides a Tesla equipped with thrusters and laser cannons through space, destroying objects. As of October 2021, SRS Games has 7 games available on Steam, none issued since the release of Simulator. Elon on Mars can be purchased for 99 cents, while Elon Simulator 2019 is free. SRS Games' most expensive game is Air Battlefront for $6.99, released the previous May. It is also the least popular. The most popular is not either of the Tesla-themed games, but Planes Attack. That game was also released in May, also for 99 cents. October 20th, 2017. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan announced near this date that his administration had just approved a 10.3-mile prototype tunnel between Camden Yards in Baltimore and Hanover, one of its suburbs, proposed by The Boring Company. The tunnel was intended to use the electric skate and tunnel transport concept for which the company had previously released an animation video. Hogan has supported a variety of alternative transportation options in the state, including privately funded toll lanes on the interstates and a light rail system connecting D.C. suburban counties. Unfortunately, the route falls under the purview of a whole host of regulatory agencies, including the U.S. Department of the Interior, the Maryland Stadium Authority, and the U.S. Federal Highway Administration. In April of 2019, a draft 411-page environmental assessment for the project was published by the FHA. Although the assessment didn't conclude that the tunnel couldn't be built, it did outline a large number of costly remedies that would have to be addressed before construction could start. In response, the Boring Company quietly deleted the project from its website and released the lobbyists it had retained to push the project. The company has 2 active projects in the planning stage in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Miami, Florida. Want to know how to navigate our channel content? We refer to tech documentary segments as episodes. Coverage of current events in space exploration, science, and technology are labeled as shorts. Space and tech history are documented in an anthology called Milestones. Gameplay recordings can be discovered on the Belated Tech Gaming channel in videos called Walkthroughs and Side Missions. Reviews of tools and equipment hail from the Tool Crib, and reviews of small electronics and appliances arrive by way of the Radio Shed. Looking for a specific video on our channel that we may have mentioned in one of our other videos? Links to those episodes can be found in the description section below. Also, we have begun labeling our video titles with numbers, such as M105 for Milestones 105 or S49 for Short 49, so viewers can perform a title search. Finally, you can peruse our entire 300-plus video library by looking at our playlists, which conveniently sort videos by subject. October 21st, 2018, business cable channel CNBC released an expose near this date outlining Musk's tendency to micromanage production problems at Tesla, often flying in the face of well-established automotive industry practices, forcing technological improvements in production, and rejecting the help of third-party software providers experienced in automotive manufacturing. Interviewing more than 36 current and former employees, the business channel fielded a number of gripes centering around the extreme pressure Musk was applying to increase production of the Model 3, and the over-reliance on automation for parts clearly beyond the ability of robots to assemble. There is little question Tesla was under enormous pressure to raise production of the Model 3 to address cash flow issues. The company needed to deliver enough vehicles to collect enough cash to pay suppliers and make debt payments, while it needed to invest enough money in its factory systems to allow it to produce those vehicles. This meant that Tesla couldn't afford to waste resources on implementing expensive and time-consuming production software from SAP and Oracle, adopting training-intensive assembly systems championed by Japanese companies like Toyota, or outsource significant car assemblies to expensive automotive subcontractors, as is the practice of many legacy auto manufacturers. Model 3 production eventually became unstuck, and Tesla broke ground on 3 new factories during the next 3 years. October 22nd, 2019. Elon Musk tweeted on this date using a prototype Starlink terminal communicating with a nascent Starlink constellation in orbit over California. SpaceX had launched 60 prototype satellites on May 4, 2019, and the company had worked over the next few months verifying the technology underlying its system. Musk's tweet said, quote, "Sending this tweet through space via Starlink satellite. Whoa, it worked." By the time Musk tweeted through a broadband internet connection through Starlink, the company had greenlighted a production launch of Starlink satellites. That launch came on November 11, 2019 from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station's Launch Complex 40. Did you agree with our choices, or are there other events that were better? Go ahead and share with us by dropping a comment below. And if you have suggestions for an event in the future, we'll take those too. We'll credit events we pick for future videos to those viewers that post them. We hope you have been enjoying our content. Have we earned your subscription to our channel? If yes, and you have not taken the opportunity to subscribe, please take a moment to do so now and click the bell notification icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. We want to continue delivering great content to you. You can always unsubscribe, and subscribing is free. October 23rd, 2015. Tesla CEO Elon Musk revealed near this date that the company was in negotiations with the Chinese Communist Party to produce cars in-country. The attraction of manufacturing cars in China was to avoid the stiff tariff on imports that often increased by 50% the price of a car. This tended to price foreign cars out of the range of the typical Chinese citizen. Tesla had sold only about 4,000 Model S sedans in China in 2015. The downside was that foreign automakers had to form a joint venture with a local partner that would own at least 51% and stand up that venture by transferring much of its intellectual property. Tesla announced 2 years later that it had received permission from the CCP to explore the possibility of building a factory in Shanghai with the local authorities. Those explorations resulted in a signed agreement on July 10th of 2018. The big surprise was that Tesla would own 100% of its Chinese subsidiary, and that there would not be a joint venture with a local partner. And the surprises kept on coming. In late 2019, it was revealed that Tesla had obtained a 10 billion yuan 5-year loans facility, an unsecured 2.25 billion yuan revolving loan, and a 9 billion yuan secured term loan, all to build and operate the new factory. Not only would Tesla own the factory, the CCP would completely finance it, greatly reducing sovereign risk. October 24th, 2020, the Starlink 14 mission was lifted to orbit on a Falcon 9 B5 rocket, Booster 1060, from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station's Launch Complex 40 on this date. The booster successfully returned to a drone ship. It was the 14th operational launch of Starlink satellites and the 100th successful launch of a Falcon vehicle. Booster 1060 was on its third flight. 60 version 1.0 satellites were delivered for the Starlink broadband internet constellation. On October 19, 2021, the U.S. Senate Appropriations Committee, in its drafts for the 2022 budget, insisted that NASA award the HLS lunar lander to a second vendor. The agency had earlier in the year awarded the HLS solely to SpaceX. The award was due to the limited funds Congress had previously made available to the program. The House version of the fiscal year 2022 appropriations bill added $150 million to the HLS program, but did not specifically direct NASA to select a second company. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson had already said he would prefer that the agency select two contractors for the HLS, but that the funding wasn't there to do so. Industry analysts have said that there wasn't even enough funding to support one vendor. SpaceX has the advantage of already self-funding its own interplanetary spacecraft, a variation of which it was planning to satisfy the HLS concept. Competitor Blue Origin offered to cost share up to $2 billion if it was awarded an HLS contract. Dynetics, the third bidder, is unlikely to be able to afford a cost-sharing arrangement. We hope you enjoyed this 57th episode of Bladetech's Tesla and SpaceX Redux. If so, click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe or just stay in touch by following us on our microblogging accounts, which are listed below, as well as in the community feed for this channel. We announce all new videos on those outlets. Stay connected by occasionally checking our Instagram feed and Minds page, where we post content from our upcoming episodes and from episodes past that you may have missed, and where we cover current news and events related to channel content. Thanks for watching.